What's going on, guys? Stock Jock here, going over the trades for today. Up $510, but it has been an up and down day for me. I was up as high as 750, and then I went all the way down to $80 profit. Now I'm back up to 510 on some shippers that were in play. So let's just go over the trades real quick. The first one out of the gate was Gene, Gene. This one had some news come out last night about some collaboration that they were doing with, I think, a university. Whatever. It was positive news, and I know Gene from about a year ago. I traded it, and I just knew that it's a former runner and it can make big moves. So I was definitely looking at this one out of the gate. So we had a short little dip when it opened up, and I was looking to play it as soon as we broke over the opening high. Here's the opening high right here at 930. So as soon as we were going to break this level, this 176 level is when I was going to go long, and that's exactly what I did. Got in at 178, and I sold inside this spike here at 183-ish. So basically 5 cents on 2,000 shares. I really was wanting to hold this all day long because I just know Gene can move, but I didn't have the cojones to do it. I needed the cushion on the day. It was my first trade. Maybe if it was my third trade and I was up $1,000, maybe I would do it. But regardless, happy with the win. So my next trade was NYMX. This was a pure news play. As you can see over here, this is the 5-minute chart. Here's the 1-minute. News comes out. They released more positive data on their phase 3, blah, blah, blah. I think it was phase 3. Yeah, more significant positive data on phase 3. I like phase 3 data. Regardless, I know that this one can move. As you can see here, you had a huge move here from 315 to 473. This is a huge move here on 824.16. Went from 243 to 458. So it was in the back of my mind. I heard NYMX, positive phase 3 data. I immediately just typed in the symbol and I clicked up a few notches and buy. And I put 2,000 shares in. I only got filled 1,400 shares at 333. Soon as I bought, volume poured in and it got halted. So it was in this halt, which was great because it's positive news. First halt, I was happy with that. And it opened up, it popped up higher, and I sold into that pop. Basically got out at 381 and it went as high as 397. But definitely a nice win for me there. Almost 50 cents on 1,400 shares. And that brought me to 750 on the day, and I was doing pretty good. So Gene was my next play, and I was actually going to go short on it. I was looking at the date or the 5-minute chart here. We had a bunch of these topping candles here that just were bearish. And then we had candle over candle here. The high was 257, and then the next candle was 259, and it just didn't run. Usually that's a sign that it's going to go down further. We had a candle over candle confirmation. It just didn't move. So I went short, looking for the 250 break, and maybe it would just send on down here. So I went short as the 1-minute was curling over. Right in here is where I got it. All right, so we have a high here, a lower high. This is all very bearish. And I was really hoping we would break this bottom, this 246 range, and it just like for some reason the bids kept coming in. So I went short at 250, and it broke a couple times, but the bids just kept coming in. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. So I got out. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. It didn't act right. So I bailed basically even. I think I lost $5 on the trade. I got out at 249.85, whatever. But as soon as I got out, it was confirmed of how much of a bear trap it was. The next candle, boom, 330,000 shares, 380,000 shares, 400,000 shares, 300,000 shares, all pushing this higher, and it just ran from there. So I was happy to get out, manage the risk well. MOC was my next trade. This one had news out of a contract award. I've really never traded the stock before, so I kind of went into it blindly. It was a news play that came out. It had a $50 million contract. the market cap for this stock is only 27 million, so that's pretty big news. And I went long as soon as I heard it at 336. And as you can see here, where is it? It popped up on the news pretty quickly. And of course, I bought the top and it just sold off from there. And I was really looking for that, candle over candle. We'd finally get a curl to move back up. Just never came. I ended up having to cut my losses at 312 for basically a 24-cent loss on 2,000 shares. That one hurt, but I had a cushion on the day so far, so it didn't hurt that bad. I was still green on the day, but I should have cut my losses sooner when I just didn't see that this thing was going to take off. It was a low float stock, really good news. For some reason, Wall Street just didn't like it. I mean, look at it, sold off the rest of the day, no volume. So Gene went through a consolidation time right here, and I'm like, oh, it's holding this level pretty good. I mean, it's not selling off yet. It's holding up here. We had this nice spike, and it's just kind of holding up. And I'm looking for, candle over candle confirmation. I'm looking for it to run to test 3. And a couple times I would get in and get out. I got a 276, and it just didn't go. So I got out for a 1 cent loss. Got in again at 288, thinking we're going to break the high of the day, which is 289, which I was shocked that it could not do. And every time we would get up to 289, it would just sell, and I ended up selling for a loss of 6 cents there, and it just not what I wanted to see when I just took a huge loss on MOC. So, but I did manage the risk well. The stock didn't act accordingly, and I'm glad I got out when I did, because it did end up selling off quite a bit for the rest of the day actually, and it could have been a lot worse. So DCIX was my next play, and this one was very unexpected, to be honest. Um, GLBS out of nowhere. I mean, look at this. GLBS got destroyed yesterday. It ran up, got halted, and then they announced an offering, went all the way down to 250, and it just got absolutely destroyed. And I'm thinking, okay, offering, this thing's done. You're not going to see from GLBS anytime soon. Well, for some reason today, it could have been short covering, that they probably made a killing. There's people probably shorted this thing all the way up here and just rode all the way down. Maybe it was short covering, I don't know. The volume started coming to this thing, and I just know that DCIX echoes GLBS, or let me rephrase that. DCIX really echoes any shipper that's running hard, like the lead, like when Dries was doing its thing, DCIX was following. So this is my go-to stock when one of the shippers takes off. So when that GLBS took off, I immediately went over to DCIX. I bought 4,000 shares, and I sold half at 3-cent win, another quarter at a 7-cent win, and another quarter at a 7-cent win. So definitely happy just playing the move. It's a sympathy play for sure. And my last trades on DCIX were all the same thing. GLBS would take off like it just did into the close. We had a huge volume spike right here. It spiked back up. I bought DCIX, and it went over 6, bought DCIX, and every time it paid off for me. I did it in 2,000 and 4,000 shared chunks. Bought at 54, sold it 359, 357. It was just easy. When you catch patterns where a stock will mimic another one or be a sympathy play, those are pretty easy plays to make some money off of. So did well in DCIX, back up to 510 on the day. Definitely happy with that. So that's all. Like, subscribe, share the videos, comment down below if you have any questions. You can message me or find me on Google Hangouts at StockJockAT. And also, if you're wanting to support the channel, you can do so by shopping on Amazon. Just click the link down below in the description. Also, if you're looking for a news source, like the news source I use to play NYMX, it's Benzinga. You can also find the link down in the description below and use the coupon code StockJockAT at checkout for 30% off. All right, take care.